Welcome back to At Home with Roby. I'm Patrick McIsaac from Roby Electric, along with a vacationing, yet still able to make the radio show, Trent Haston from the Roby family of companies. Visit us today at andrewroby.com. That's Andrew, ROBY.com, or find us on the WBT.com homepage. Trent, we're going to be joined here with Chris Weber from Make-A-Wish and Christian McCall from the Roby family of companies, and we're going to talk about our relationship as a company with Make-A-Wish and, of course, our annual cornhole tournament. If you could kind of run us down the history of how you became affiliated with Make-A-Wish and how the cornhole tournament came to fruition.
Well, I'm going to ask you if you could stop saying vacation and say dedicated.
Dedication on vacation. I like it.
All right. So I'll tell you, it all started, our business, I joined the business in 2000, and we were very charitable business, would always help people's causes and help people's church and, do barbecues with people's church, and we've been involved in Dilworth Little League. And to a lesser time period, I know Dilworth 40-plus years, I think, and then South Park Little League. So we're very big into the Little League, very big into the kids. That's kind of something I inherited. Coming to the business grows a lot. 2008, before the recession, before we knew there was a recession coming, I was invited by one of our employees' fathers, took me to Omaha to hear Warren Buffett at his annual stock shareholders meeting. So we went up, and I'm all geeked up on Warren Buffett, and his big thing he was talking about was everybody has a diamond, and you need to figure out what your diamond is and how you can polish your diamond. And you can do it for good, you can do it for wrongdoings, you can do it for profit, you can do it for charity, you can do whatever you want, and everybody, no matter what the skill set, has something special. So we came back. I was all geeked up, and I said, I really want to build something that in 10 or 20 years we'll be known for and will be the backbone of our business, even beyond helping out every time we can or get called upon, but doing something in a big way that was more of a long-term investment than a short-term investment. So I came back, wanted to do a party, do something that we could make annual and get I thought our diamond was we have a great network of clients, and that's homeowners and business owners and stuff, and then we have a great network on the other side of suppliers and vendors and subcontractors like plumbers and supply houses like Ferguson and stuff like that. So I said, man, if I could, my suppliers and vendors want to get in front of my clients, and my clients want a vehicle to give it back. We just got to give it to them. So through some stuff, I had my first child. She was about 3 months old, and she was having some medical problems, nothing to the extent of Make-A-Wish. But we were fighting through that at the same time. It's kind of divine. And I also had a guy that was 24 years old that worked at our company, Brendan Hackett, who had been diagnosed with cancer and was going through cancer treatments every 2 weeks. Very athletic young man. And we interviewed the standard construction-related charities, and then we also had a client who was attached to the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, and we interviewed them, and they were just so willing to help us get involved at the time. This is 9 years ago that I created a cornhole tournament, wrote a business plan, had a budget in my mind of raising $2,000 or $3,000 year one, wrote my business plan, put it on paper, guys. It became positive 20 for the charity. And then once I made my first 2 phone calls to dear business partners and friends, Webb Hatley with Queen City Lumber and Randy Burris with the Overhead Door Company, they said yes to giving $2,500 so easily that I raised my budget. I stopped calling people. I raised my budget to $30,000, and we raised like $30,200 the first year. And then the second year we raised a little over $40,000. Once again, increased the business model, business plan. And then I think the third year was 55, and then the fourth year we busted 100. So last year I know we surpassed on our 8th annual, and we have done 2 ones in Raleigh. So 10 tournaments, 8th annual, $1 million raised. And
wow,
that's special because I remember telling my dad and my brother, they were going, boy, what are you doing? You're crazy. I'm always the crazy one. We're contractors. What are you doing cornhole? And I said, well, one day in about 10 years, we will have raised $100,000, and then people will have to join us. They won't be able to catch us. We raised $1 million in less than 10 years, so it's great. Well, through that process, Make-A-Wish reached out. This is year 2 or 3,
right, and
asked me to join the board. And by that time, I think I had my second child. Tatum was fine. She healed from her medical condition. It was not a life-threatening issue. But I said, man, what better way? 100% of the kids that have a blood cancer, like the Leukemia Lymphoma Society,
it ties it together.
Should, if Make-A-Wish is hitting this vision, should have the opportunity to be granted a wish if Make-A-Wish is hitting 100% goal. I said, so that ties in with that, and this is granting children with life-threatening wishes, their one true wish with life-threatening illnesses. And I'm going to have kids, and we're a family-based business, so this is what we want to hang our hat on. I joined the board, and now over the last 6 or 7 years, 100% of our proceeds have gone to support Make-A-Wish of Central and Western North Carolina, and that's where Chris Webber comes in.
Yeah, Chris Webber does come in, yeah.
Good-looking, blonde-headed young man.
And not to be confused with the Chris Webber from from the Fab Five back in the day.
Time out.
Oh, yeah, Carolina people love him, don't you? I forgot about that. Folks, you're listening to At Home with Roby. We're here talking about Make-A-Wish Foundation in our annual cornhole tournament. We're joined by Chris Webber and Christian McCall. Chris, if you could, Trent's obviously talking about his experience at Make-A-Wish. Give us sort of the 757 overview, the elevator speech, if you will, about exactly what Make-A-Wish does in your mission.
Sure. Well, we're a very local organization, and we grant wishes to children that are battling life-threatening medical conditions. And we serve Central and Western North Carolina. So we serve the 51 counties in Central and Western North Carolina. So kind of from Alamance County in the Greensboro area as far west as Cherokee and everything in between. So we only are raising money in those 51 counties, and we're only granting wishes to kids in those 51 counties.
Wow, so it all stays local.
Very local. And I think that's a pretty common misconception is people hear Make-A-Wish. It's a pretty recognizable brand name, and people think we're this huge national organization. And we do have a presence in every state and across the world, but each chapter is its own local entity.
Okay.
So the money we're raising here stays here for kids right here in our own backyard.
That's great. And tell a little bit about, okay, what does it cost to make a wish? And what kind of wishes do you see? Just kind of give us an idea of what you guys see on a day-to-day basis.
Sure. The average cost of a wish for us is about $6,000, and that's a cash cost. So people think that we get, as a nonprofit, that we get everything donated to us. And while we do get some good breaks on things, we have to pay a lot for a lot of these wishes. And you've got wishes that are all over the spectrum. It could be a kid that just wants to go on a shopping spree at Best Buy, and that's $1,000, or a kid that wants to go swim with the dolphins in Hawaii, and you're looking at a $15,000, $20,000 wish, and kind of everything in between. So we really rely on support from our partners like you guys and donors here in the community to make those wishes happen.
Well, no, that's great. I noticed that we're all wearing our cornhole T-shirts. Pitchin for Wishes is sort of the brand that's been created to marquee that tournament. And we're here with Christian McCall as well. Christian is with the Roby family of companies, and she knows all things cornhole. Which Christian, this is not for folks that haven't participated. This is a huge deal.
It really is. It's not your backyard pulling out a couple of boards event. It's last year we had our highest number of teams yet. We had 160 teams. The event takes place on the Dilworth Little League baseball fields within Freedom Park. So 2 of those fields are strictly boards and bags and people play in, and then we also have a kids field that's got a bounce house and face painters and all that kind of good stuff. So it takes up that whole area, and it's a big deal. It's a huge event, and it's a fun event. So
no, it sure is. And I'm going to tell my daughter a little bit. The mascot Sir Purr comes. The Charlotte Checkers, I think his name's Chubby. He's there. So it's very, very kid friendly. My daughter's terrified of Sir Purr. I'm hoping she grows out of it this year, because actually we had to leave the tournament a little bit earlier. My wife did, because she wanted nothing to do with Sir Purr, which I don't know why that is, but it's just one of those things, I guess.
Yeah, that happened with my nephew and the hounds. He was scared of the dog, so.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. Chris, can you guys stick around for the next segment?
Absolutely.
We want to touch
Sure.
on this a little bit more. Folks, when we come back, we'll continue our conversation with Chris Weber and Christian McCall. You're listening to At Home with Roby. Visit us today at andrewroby.com. We'll be right back.